Good? No? Yes? Yes. Hello! It didn't work the first time I tried, so that's why I'm saying yes, yes. Anyway, yeah, it is 20 something. 27th? 28th today. It's Friday. No, 20. It can't be the 28th. 23rd. Sorry, my eyes are really not doing well these days. And they definitely are not. Okay, I have been to see a specialist 2 times. We are currently in Calgary. Right now we're sitting at a Safeway, getting internet, and hopefully I can get this put up today. But yeah, so I've seen this specialist twice, an ophthalmologist, because when I went to my doctor in Lethbridge, my pressure in this eye was really high. This one's fine, but this one is not. And I'm not being able to see anything these days. They put the biggest E on their screen. All I can see is like that. There's sort of gray. There's a gray block, like a square. It's actually the screen I'm seeing, the white screen, and it's kind of gray. And that's all I can see. When they do the finger thing, I can see it out here. I just can't see it down here or above and things. I mean, she held out her hand, and I couldn't even see her hand yesterday. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'm seeing a doctor here now. He was doing testing, so I've actually seen him twice already. And I saw him the first time on the 20th, and he gave me a new prescription for my eyes. Oh my goodness, that is the worst prescription I think I've ever had. And I've had lots of different ones for for different things, pardon me. But this one hurts, it gives me a headache, makes me nauseous, and it's an eye drop, but yeah. I also am on a half pill that Dr. Leishman had given me this pill, and I was taking one, and the new doctor told me just half of one. You're going to be doing these drops, but I don't know. Pardon me, but yeah. So because they've got some of the same side effects, those side effects are expanding. I think that's what's happening. Anyway, so for a couple of hours after I do these drops, I have to do them twice a day, and they make me feel really bad. But it is, something I've got to do. I mean, I don't really. I'm willing to, try things and do things, and I'm told this is good for me. There's on Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 28th. That is the 28th. I have to go in, and they're going to do something with lasers. They're going to put a hole somewhere in my eye to help with the pressure and to help release the pressure. Then in July, beginning of July, then they'll do a follow-up to see how the drops and everything are working, see if the pressure's gone down, if it's been released enough. And then they'll set me up to do cataracts and glaucoma and all the whatever the operation is for this eye. Because they're concentrating on this eye because it's in the worst condition. But yeah, it's so that's all coming up for me. So it means that we're going to be hanging around Calgary for the summer. And we don't know when we have to wait until July 8th, and then we don't know when the other operation will be, how far into the future it'll be. Because at that point it's not an emergency anymore. Like, this is sort of an emergency situation where they have to get the pressure down, and they have to try and get it down right away. But it's really funny because I'm using the drops in this eye, and I'd used them on Tuesday? Anyway, the 20th. Used it once, and I do them twice a day. So I'd done it once because it was later in the day, and then the next day I had done it twice, And then in the morning, just before I went into the office, I did it again. All in this eye, right? It's only in this eye. And the pressure didn't go down in this eye. It went down in this eye. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's how my system works. Screwy. But, yeah. So in the meantime, we're going to be wandering around Calgary. There is a big casino that we can stay at. It's called Grey Eagle, and they're very, very nice. So we can stay there. It's on the west side of the city. We're going to see if there's other places, but that has been a really good place. They have, right now they've got a thing going on the weekends. We don't want to stay there. It's a graduation of some sort. It looked like really young people, so I think it was probably high school, but I didn't understand a high school graduation being done at a casino. Anyway, yeah, so there was a big band coming in of some sort of entertainment, and it was going to be, I figured, pretty loud, and we wouldn't get any sleep. And Gary figured the same thing, so we kind of wandered away from there yesterday afternoon, and we found another casino that will let us stay, so that was good. And they are just a casino. They're not an event place at all, and they actually close it. I think it was 12:30 that they closed, so the parking lot gets empty. So we were basically there. I think there was one or two others in there, but they weren't big units like ours. They were vans or a pickup. There was a pickup with a trailer, and we think they stayed somewhere in the parking lot. And there was another that was a van, and we're pretty sure they were there all night. I had woke up in the night and opened my curtain and saw the van across the parking lot from us. But then at like 5 o'clock in the morning, or 5:30 in the morning, there was a guy come in there on a little bobcat type with a scraper on the front, and he was taking the gravel off the driveway and making all kinds of noise right next to us. I thought it was construction out on the main road, because the casino is right next to a main road, and I thought it was construction out there. No, it was in the parking lot. But he was doing that, and at first it was far away. It sounded, because he was probably over on that side next to the main road, because it's quite a big parking lot. And but then it kept getting closer and closer. And I thought, well, construction doesn't usually move across. Yeah, so it was funny. But and then I looked out the window, and yeah, there he was, right next to us, scraping away. I just went back to sleep. I just curled up next to Gary and basically he went further away, and as he went further away, I just fell asleep. So, yeah. But anyway, that's kind of what's happening right now. We're just kind of looking around. Gary's going to try and see if he can get some card readings, which just, enhances our money a little bit. So far, we haven't, but, you never know. Never know what's going to happen. We've looked at some of the markets, and they're not really good for what we do. So a lot of farmers markets, and there was a big one that we were in yesterday, and it didn't look like anybody was doing real well. We say, do you do okay here? And we didn't tell them we were interested in being there. We just conversation, and the one lady said, we do okay. Well, that's not an endorsement to me. Okay is, we get by. We're paying our rent, maybe, but a lot of farmers' things in there. A lot of older names, like I've seen the names before when I lived here before, and things like that. They've been around for a while. And they're quite established where they are and things like that. So, but we have had a look around, and we're going to try just kind of sitting in a parking lot and seeing how that goes. I mean, we don't have signs is our problem, so we may have to spend a little bit of money and get a sign made of some sort to put on the motorhome and let people know what we are or who we are. and I'm not going to be able to get back to doing crafting for a while. This eye is kind of preventing that. My other eye is working really hard. Anytime I have to do anything, this is my long distance eye. The other one sees, it used to be my shorter distance eye, like my reading glass eye. And this one saw further. And this one just doesn't see at all anymore, very, very little. It sees shadows, that's about it. So yeah, so anyway, that is kind of what's going on. So on Wednesday, I believe it is, I have the hole put. They have to like laser a little hole. And he said it only takes a couple of minutes, and he said it's just done with freezing, like just the drop that they put in that freezes your eye. So that's good. And then, you know, you're awake, but you know, you can't feel anything or see anything. They put a thing over your face, I imagine. And then you just, you know, it's only a couple of minutes. That they just have to find the place that's going to work for you. and then you go home. Now I don't know if they bandage. I didn't ask that question. I don't know if they bandage after or not. They may. I may have to wear a bandage for a couple of days or something like that. But that didn't work, honey. Honey is printing, and it came out in 2 sections. So that was fun. Yeah, that way. Sorry, he's putting it back in the printer, and I was just assuring him that the direction he was holding the paper was going to work. Okay, enough. I'm going to go now because I want to get this uploaded if I can. And the internet here seems to be fairly good on my machine. Gary always struggles with the internet, so. But, yeah, it is fairly good here, so I'm going to go and I'm going to get this uploaded as soon as I can, so that you know we're still here, we're still alive and well, and doing our best to just, you know, do what we do. And it's different being back in Calgary. It's a very different city now from when I lived here and when we were here last even. So yeah, but I will talk to you all as I can, as we can get on the internet. I'll upload. I haven't uploaded those other videos yet. I tried uploading videos the other day when we were online for a very short time, but it just all went, everything closed down, the internet closed down just really fast and was gone, and I couldn't get back on. So, you know, it's just, and we're struggling with power as well these days because the sun is not shining all day long. Like right now the sun is out, but there's clouds in the sky, so the sun comes and goes, comes and goes. We've had a lot of rain the last week since we got here, and and that's not really normal for Calgary to have a lot of rain. But you know, we keep hoping that the day is going to be sunny all day, and then it turns out to be rainy, you know, later in the day, and it looks like it might do that again. So, and we're having trouble with our vehicle, so you know, that's kind of normal for us. But so I will talk to you all when I can, and love you and leave you. You take care out there, look after each other, and look after yourselves. Do some crafting. It's good therapy. I wish I could. Bye for now.